Is the British Army, our armed forces, ready to deploy anywhere in the world at a moment's notice to protect us or our NATO allies? That is a great question, and that is what they have been practicing. They have done their annual readiness if called up upon at a moment's notice. This is our High Readiness Brigade 16 air assault. Those guys who jump out of planes, well, not all of them, but the majority of them, okay? So, the Armed Forces test readiness support NATO allies. Hundreds of paratroopers have been mobilised to practice the UK Armed Forces response to emergency warlike scenario. This is nothing new, so you don't need to panic. They've been doing this annually for years. They were even doing this when I served a few years ago. Okay, it's a week-long operation testing the country's readiness if called up upon to support a NATO ally threatened with invasion, but it's also testing their response just in case the UK is ever attacked or invaded as well. But this demonstration was more if they had to go abroad. The operation draws from barracks in Woodbridge, Catterick, Larkhill, Thorney Island, Pembrokeshire, and obviously Merville Barracks in Colchester, where the majority of 16 Air Assault Brigade is based. It's the first time that Essex Base has given media access to the operation, and I'm surprised that they've actually done this. They've allowed media to come in and see what they actually do to prepare for going abroad. You know, it's not something that you really want your sort of enemies seeing, but maybe what we're trying to get out there is gain the trust back within our, from our population, from the guys and girls in the UK, and to sort of show our enemies, look, we are ready if needed. Maybe that's what they're trying to do. Okay, 16 Air Assault Brigade is British Army's instant response force. Its commander, Brigadier Ed Cartwright, was at the barracks overseeing the exercise, which he said applied to both combat and humanitarian missions. In this instance, we are deploying elements of the brigade to Estonia to reinforce 1st Estonian Brigade in a deterrent role against Russia. So stop in Russia conducting an act of aggression. Okay, once again, I think they're just trying to show, Russia, look, we are ready for you. No matter what you see in the news, the papers, we can move at a moment's notice. We've got a lot that we can move, and we will be ready to fight you if called upon. And it has happened before. You'll see here, 2 para 16 Air Assault Brigade had to drop everything when you had the evacuation of Afghanistan. Get the phone call 24 hours later, all the soldiers were in Afghanistan. So it does happen. It really does happen. This lot could have been out here, there, everywhere in the local town doing whatever they needed to be doing, and they would have got a phone call. Right, come back. We're being called up. They always need their kit packed. Bergens, day sacks, everything is constantly packed. So when you come in off exercise, coming off operations, coming off a tab, whatever it is, you sort your admin out, you square it away, you repack it, and you just put it in your kit, your wardrobe, wherever it is, your cupboard, ready to go just in case you're called upon. That's what they need to do. They need to make sure their documentation's always ready to go. Passports are in date. They've got all their jabs. And this is why you need to be medically fit, physically and mentally fit as well. This is why you always need to be training to make sure you're on top of your fizz, okay? Soldiers need to be ready 24/7, 365 days of the year. And this is the reason why, because they could be called upon the moment's notice. They're not going to say you're deploying in 8 to 12 weeks all the time. Make sure you get down the gym. Make sure you get out running. You need to be fit. You need to be ready at a moment's notice. So that's what these guys were doing. They actually get their documentation ready. They get their kit and equipment. You'll see here, they get all the vehicles, 350 plus vehicles. You can see it here. All the vehicles have to be ready. Kit and equipment, it all gets loaded up, and they actually make their way down to Brize Norton, get on an aircraft and fly to another airport, get off to simulate them actually moving, to make sure they're ready. Every step, every process is tested to make sure they are ready. But that's what 16 Air Assault Brigade have been up to. Other than that, not actually loads going on. Other than that, not. So Look what else has been going on then. The British Army, 19 Regiment RA. I went on tour with these guys. I've worked with these closely, did a PNCO card with them. Okay, RA live fire archer in the UK. So for the first time, the Swedish Archer, the 155 howitzer, has been fired in the UK. So let's have a look at this a little bit more closely. Last week, 19 Regiment Royal Artillery, the Scottish Gunners, wrote another page in its history as 127 Dragon Battery, and worked closely with 127 Dragon Battery, live fired archer in the UK for the very first time as they prepare for their deployments to Estonia as part of the Royal Tank Regiment Battle Group. Dragon's tactical and gun groups completed a comprehensive live fire package, engaging with over 500 rounds, decent and good amount of rounds. They now firmly set their sights on their upcoming deployments in Estonia. So the Swedish Archer, the 155 howitzer, is the temporary replacement of the AS-90, looking to move to the RCH 155, the remote control howitzer, the 155. Personally, I think they should keep the Archer as a permanent replacement. Speaking at the event, the commanding officer of 19th Regiment, Lieutenant Colonel Chris Mashada, said this is a significant event given the importance of the Archer in Estonian defence plan, okay, and the importance of the Archer of how it's been used in Ukraine and Russia. So there we have it, okay. The Archer is finally being used in sort of an operational role, okay. They finally live fired in the UK, and then now they're going to be moving over to Estonia. So really, really good to see. And they're actually putting the Archer to use now. Obviously, they had to come across, they had to train on it. Totally new piece of kit and equipment for the guys in the Royal Artillery and the British Army. So completely new. They had to go from, obviously, all the guys, the drivers, the gunners, the commanders, the signallers, all of it had to completely retrain coming from the AS-90 over onto the Archer. So a massive operation to do that, but they're finally live firing, which is good to see. If you're looking at joining the Royal Artillery, these are sort of bits of kit and equipment that you could be using. Okay, the Archer is what they're currently using. So if you're new to the British Army and you're going into the Royal Artillery, you could be using it. Very, very exciting times. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you soon.